The cosmic order is shifting, realigning itself around you, chosen one. The world watches in anticipation, waiting to see the outcome as divine justice descends. Like a force of nature, the karmic switch has been flipped, and the earth itself trembles beneath the weight of it. Do you feel the ground shaking? It's not just your personal world, it's the entire system, both legal and spiritual, crumbling like tectonic plates beneath your feet. Someone thought they were clever, thought they could bury your birthright so deep that not even the divine could uncover it. But now, a hurricane of revelations is building, gaining strength as it charges toward the light. With sirens blaring, helicopters overhead, and no place left to hide, the truth about what was stolen from you is breaking free. It's like a police chase through the night, relentless, unavoidable. You've been patient, watching as others paraded with what rightfully belongs to you. Your property, your heritage, your inheritance. Things that have carried your name since the dawn of time. But your waiting was never weakness. It was the universe setting the perfect trap, because there is no appeal in cosmic justice. The decision is final, the gavel has fallen, and the judgment has been rendered. And the cosmic firing squad? It's aimed squarely at those who sought to stop you from reaching your true potential. They thought they could keep you hidden, but now, their stars aren't just misaligned, they're collapsing. Nothing, not even Mercury retrograde, can compare to what's coming for them. Some individuals choose the easiest route to learning their lessons. Your poisonous relationships? The whole world will be watching as they learn them. The universe provides examples in addition to instruction. The cosmic instructor has picked your predicament to educate humanity today about the consequences of interfering with destiny's plan. The stars, set in your favor before you were even born, bringing opportunity, prosperity, and blessings that were specially meant for you. Your name has already been inscribed by the cosmos on resources that will support future generations, as well as you. However, someone felt it looked better in their hands after seeing what was intended for you. They altered your flow by forging signatures, either literally or figuratively. To halt your river of abundance, they constructed dams. To maintain what was properly yours, they developed a whole system of deceit, including papers, falsehoods, and manipulations. Did they really believe it would succeed? Work indefinitely? The troops involved made every effort. They recreated reality in their own image, delayed and hindered. They persuaded others to join them in this heist. At times, they even persuaded you that you could be insane for thinking something was intended for you. However, the first edict remains in effect. You were selected for this prosperity. Now, the stolen item is being given back with interest. Instead of just returning what was stolen, the cosmos amplifies, compounds, and multiplies it in order to convey a message. Karma is now a repo crew that comes to get what was always yours and adds punitive damages for the period you were without it. It's no longer merely a balancing force. Now, the same individuals who have been surviving off of your resources are pleading for weaknesses. At 3 in the morning, they are phoning lawyers. In the dead of night, they are attempting to transfer assets. They are using backyard fire pits to burn papers. However, it's too late. Forces they are unable to influence, bribe, or flee have already signed the seizure order. All of their loans were immediately called in, at once, by the cosmic bank. Every transaction was simply noted by the spiritual auditors. They have been avoiding their karmic payments for far too long, according to the global tax collectors, and now they are facing penalties. Astronomical. We're counting every dime they spent that ought to have been yours. They are calculating every chance they have stolen. Universal forces are kicking down every door they closed in your face. In addition to showing what they stole, the ledger also indicates how much that taking has cost you over time. And that bill is due right now. Don't even consider the possibility that this wasn't planned. They were planning while you were asleep. They were plotting while you trusted them. They were undermining while you were constructing. This was a planned effort to prevent you from achieving your destiny, not an accident or miscommunication. They believed they were geniuses. They fed you falsehoods and exchanged knowing looks during family get-togethers. To figure out how to keep you in the dark, they had meetings at midnight. For their backup plans, they made backup plans. They believed they were too cunning to ever be discovered. However, what about plans based on changing sand? They fall apart. When truth is given a megaphone, what happens to lies? They fall apart. Center stage is what was concealed. One by one, the meticulously crafted narrative pieces are being revealed, with each one being more destructive than the previous. The public square is soon to hear shouts from the murmurs in the shadowed chambers. They will experience more than simply loss, though they will undoubtedly confront financial devastation. Even if their deepest secrets are about to make headlines, it will be more than simply exposure. The communal knowledge that these individuals are not who they feigned is what will shatter them, as seen by the pointed fingers, the startled looks, the text messages that inquire, "Did you see what they did?" They just ran out of time for their long game. A storm is going to hit their meticulously constructed house of cards. The same relatives who held blades behind their backs and grinned in your face. In the most visible manner imaginable, their masks are going to come off. The same family members that stole your reality and made fun of your dreams. The joke is soon to be about them. Even though your birthright was flashing through their thoughts, they knew that this was the last time they would ever be considered the family royalty, and sat at the head of the table at every holiday gathering, while you were demoted to the kids' area. They are losing every blessing they claimed as good fortune or a favor when it was really taken from your cosmic account. This facade was the foundation of their whole persona. Without your means to support them, who are they? Making them seem selected without your consent. Didn't your inheritance give them the appearance of being deserving? The answer is nothing, and they will soon find out. Animals who are trapped and aware that their time is running out act frantically. The cosmos is laughing because your poisonous connections just become theirs. Please note that this message is solely for those who received the call. I discovered the horrifying reality when I emerged from the Salvia Divinorum gateway. Our world is only one harvested pod out of innumerable matrices. You already know this fact, don't you? I saw the Archons, cosmic parasites who suck on human energy, laugh and threaten. You'll never awaken a single soul. That persistent feeling that you've been selected, that you're intended for more. I am assembling the most intelligent souls into an army. Their coherence via unconditional love is their one weakness, which I learned about through meditation. Now feel that resonance growing inside of you. This isn't just something you happen to read. The Obsidian Inner Order, the top ascension nexus for those marked by destiny, is already assembling the most potent awakened souls. This group consists of Christians, lightworkers, remote watchers, and targeted people who are all bound together by the same truth. You were selected for this time. In the description below, click the link. Participate in our live broadcasts, panels, and group calls to reach the whole Astral Atom network. Our frequency is boosted by yours. Will you answer the call? That's the question, not whether you're selected. The decision you are about to make is feared by the Archons. They should. Perhaps the offer was made to purchase your quiet. Perhaps it was just another complex lie to hide earlier lies. Perhaps someone who might have assisted you was bribed. Perhaps it was a ruse they believed would permanently damage your reputation. Whatever it was immediately a disaster. The one they attempted to control saw through it. There were clear problems with the paper they falsified. There were gaps in their tale that might have been driven by a cosmic bulldozer. Not only did their last attempt fail, it was pitiful. And the one they trusted with their secrets, the one they believed to be on their side, After laughing in their face, the individual got up, left, and is now carrying a dossier of evidence that bears your name. The universe gave them that one last chance to come clean, to make atonement, to attempt to escape what was about to happen. The door that might have allowed for a more comfortable landing just banged shut. No more opportunities, no more holdups, no more escape routes. The whole tale is conveyed by the despair in their eyes. It is over, they know that. The walls seem to be closing in on them. These days, when they answer the phone, their hands tremble. When they attempt to keep up the lie, their voices break. They are unable to fall asleep as they gaze at the ceiling, wondering when everything will fall apart. They attempted to use money to solve the issue, but the universe no longer accepts their money. They attempted to intimidate the wrong individual, but fear has now taken a different stance. They attempted to come up with one more intricate trick, but they had ran out of ideas. With nothing to support it, their plan is reduced to a hollow shell. The universe provided them with several opportunities to correct this, including warning indications, close calls, and near misses that ought to have served as wake-up calls. However, they rushed through every divine stop sign, ran every spiritual red light, and disregarded every cosmic traffic signal. Now that the pursuit is over, they have dramatically slammed into the wall of consequences. The web is wider than you may think, and this isn't simply family trouble. Those in positions of authority who ought to have known better, experts with great qualifications, and officials with fancy names were all caught up in this disaster. Some voluntarily joined after seeing a chance to benefit from your defeat. Others were coerced into becoming unsuspecting participants by feeding them false information. They didn't read the small print before signing documents. Without scrutinizing the source, they authorized transactions. When documentation that should have aroused concerns were on their desk, they chose to ignore them. However, one of them changed sides, which is when the tide turns. Someone who once cooperated is now bearing the full consequences of their actions. Perhaps it's remorse that keeps them up at night. Perhaps it's a dread of being discovered when everything falls apart. Perhaps they really regret the part they played in denying you what was rightfully yours. Whatever the reason, people are coming out with proof, emails, recordings, meeting minutes, and other documents that establishes beyond a reasonable doubt what was done to you and who was at fault. And when the first domino falls, the others will continue to tumble. The well-known figures believed that their cooperation would remain discreet and under wraps. Rather, they will soon play a key role in a public display of justice. In a matter of days, their decades-long reputation will be destroyed. That attorney who assisted in creating the false documents, facing expulsion. That bookkeeper who fabricated the books. The process of revoking the license has already started. That judge who, due to backroom dealings, rendered an unfavorable decision. An ethics probe is under progress. The professional networks that used to shield these individuals are now frantically trying to pull away. Partnerships break apart all at once. Professional groups holding emergency meetings over membership revocation, abrupt resignations from board posts for personal reasons. In addition to giving papers, this insider who flipped is also providing names, dates, hours, locations, and the precise words of the people who said what at what times. When exactly was your inheritance diverted? The precise discussion in which your legacy was distributed to others. At that particular meeting, they all decided to stick to the lie in the hopes that their combined might would protect them indefinitely. This is about a line of deceit that is now coming to an end, not just about one individual. Taking what wasn't theirs has been the foundation of their wealth and reputation for generations. It's merely the instance that will ultimately break the trend. Your scenario isn't the first time. The family that believed they were untouchable is going to discover that karma only recognizes deeds, not last names. Backroom transactions, strategic marriages, timed deaths with handy beneficiaries, children raised to carry on the deceptive legacy, and family gatherings where they determined whose inheritance to target next were all examples of their skillful manipulation. Every detail is on the verge of becoming global news. The family featured in charity gala pictures is going to come under fire for hoarding money intended for the poor. The world will soon be able to read about the patriarch's decades of lies in talks about honesty. The matriarch, who feigns to be on the moral high ground, is about to have her plot of betrayals in the family exposed in painful detail. People who formerly believed they were untouchable are suddenly avoiding trouble, deleting their social media accounts, canceling public engagements, and engaging crisis management companies that have already informed them that the situation is irreparable. For a poisonous legacy, this is an extinction event rather than only an exposure. The family name that used to unlock doors is now making them close. They won't be able to restore the reputation they so diligently protected. The fortune they have amassed over many generations of deceit will vanish as quickly as morning dew in a burning sun. Cousins who benefited from the scheme but were not actively engaged are anxiously examining their own legal vulnerability. Family members who live far away are rushing to make statements saying they were startled and horrified and that they had no knowledge. Photographs, tags, and other indications of association are being erased by family friends. There won't be any more family gatherings that served as displays of their dynasty's might. They dispersed stolen blessings while seeming to have earned them at the Christmas gatherings. Presents that were bought with your money during the birthday festivities. Raised in a lavish lifestyle on stolen foundations, their children now face a future in which the family name will be a problem rather than an advantage. Their legacy is one of public shame and widespread mistrust rather than money and power. The most culpable among them is already aware of what is about to happen. They have begun taking action, including moving money to offshore accounts, investigating nations with no extradition treaties, creating fictitious passports, scheduling one-way flights, and giving vague justifications like unexpected health retreats or long-term business prospects overseas. It's too late. Let them flee. Cosmic justice is able to locate them wherever on Earth. No island is far enough away. No complex is safe enough. And no name is phony enough to conceal their true selves and their actions. Forces they cannot see have already blocked up every escape route they have prepared. Before departure, the private aircraft they believe would transport them to safety will have technical problems. On the day of their endeavor, the border they want to cross will unexpectedly become more secure. When they get there, the contact they're depending on to conceal them will inexplicably not be accessible. The precision of divine timing is wonderful. When they believe they have reached safety, the trap will not release until the very last moment. When escape appeared all but guaranteed, the door would slam at the ideal time. To ensure the greatest number of witnesses to their demise, the handcuffs will click when they are in the most visible location. The universe is guaranteeing a viewership for the spectacle, since they are soon to be caught in the act. The stars have already recorded the moment of capture. Forces beyond their understanding have already decided the precise moment they realize there is no escape. The cosmic calendar has planned the exact moment when hope finally departs their eyes. Already their phones are hacked. They have already accessed their emails. They have already traced their whereabouts. Allies have already turned against them. Their hiding spots have already been found. They have already marked their emergency funds. They have already revealed their false identities. Each time they believe they have discovered a way out, it vanishes in front of them. All of the backup plans will fail more spectacularly than the originals. Every contact they make will either turn them down or covertly collaborate with those who are prosecuting them. When they arrive at the airport, they will discover that their name is on a no-fly list. When they arrive at the border, their car will be chosen at random to be searched. They will set up a boat, but unforeseen weather will prevent them from leaving. When they attempt to access emergency finances, they discover that the accounts are frozen. Irony is adored by the cosmos. The individuals they least anticipate, the location they believe to be the safest, and the instant they start to exhale in relief, will all catch them in the act of fleeing. You're going to get what was always intended for you, while they're going to be publicly destroyed. A message is currently en route to you. It could be an official document with seals. Perhaps someone in a position of authority is dropping by with news that will completely alter the situation. It may be a call from an unfamiliar number, providing information that validates what your gut has been telling you all along. In addition to admitting wrongdoing, this notification will initiate the transfer of everything that should have been yours from the start. However, the universe doesn't work with straightforward returns. Your elevation is amplified, not simply safe. You're receiving more than simply the stolen item back. If these resources had been in your possession all along, you would have produced exactly the same amount more. Compound interest is calculated flawlessly by the universe. The fallout will be noisy in the meantime, with community whispers turning into yells, social media eruptions, and news cycles. It will be difficult to overlook the contrast between your ascent and their decline, a cosmic lesson being shown for everyone to see. Some will get in touch with you and say they've always known things wasn't quite right. Some may attempt to portray themselves as having always been on your side. Others will try to work out a secret agreement so they won't be trapped in the blast radius of the impending explosion. As you see them scurry, keep in mind that you should be more concerned with the blessing than the scene of their death. Cosmic enhancements are included in the resources that are being returned to you. The property has gained value. The investments are now fully developed. There are now more options. The networks are now more robust. Now, what would have been worth a lot back then is worthless. Others are now kicking down doors that would have previously only been open to you in order to ensure your entry. In the past, people would have just collaborated with you. But today, they are vying to be linked to your rising star. Opportunities that would have been favorable back then are now exceptional. There is divine timing associated with this healing. The universe waited until you were ready for it, when the lesson would be most obvious to everyone watching, when the difference between what others lose and what you gain would be most striking. And don't get me wrong, what you will develop will be much superior to what they believed they were creating with your resource forces. You will double the money they just kept. You will gain tenfold more influence than they clung to. You will honestly build the legacy that they attempted to falsify. The wait is over. The truth is official, recorded, documented, and observed. It is not only known. No more gaslighting about what you know deep down to be real. No more delays, no more falsehoods. After seeming to be biased against you for a long time, the system is finally working in your favor. Your birthright is now being protected for future generations by the same means they used to deny it to you. Even if your adversaries are frantically trying to reverse their direction, it is too late. The momentum is too strong. The proof is incriminating. It's too definitive, the cosmic edict. With no shield between them and justice, they must now deal with the repercussions of their actions. The simple, unstoppable power of truth finally coming to light will put you at the top, not deceit or manipulation, which are the methods they choose. The scales have turned significantly in your favor, after being tilted against you for a considerable amount of time. The cosmos overcompensates, not merely corrects. The justice that you will get will be lavish, not just fair. The universal calculation of what you're owed took into account every private tear you shed, every night you questioned your own reality, every moment you doubted your value due to their manipulation, every opportunity you watched pass you by, and every holiday you spent watching others enjoy what should have been yours. You were always destined for this level, so keep that in mind as you enter this new world. This is a return to your normal condition, not an elevation. The universe is taking you back to your baseline, which was always meant to be there. It is not offering you anything new. The scene is ready. The actors are positioned. The crowd is seated. Additionally, the final act of this play has been summoned into action by the cosmic director. The last performance of your dysfunctional family, their unforeseen premiere as cautionary tales, and their unexpected casting as what happens when you mess with destiny are all going to be unforgettable. So, yes, you are a world star. They will eventually become famous, but not in the way they had hoped. And you are about to get the blessing that you so well deserve.